2020 is an election year, but what does that mean for your dime? Here to break it all down for us from Rooted Wealth Advisors is founder Zach Gray. Hey, Zach.
Excited to be here with you.
Okay, it's an election year.
No doubt. I think most of us might have forgot that it was an election year with all that we've seen going on in 2020 so far.
Well, yeah, it's kind of been a roller coaster with the market and with things going on from COVID-19 to protests and all of that fun stuff. So how has that affected our finances?
Well, there's no doubt that the roller coaster has affected our finances. Portfolios started at an all-time high. We lost a big chunk, and then all of a sudden we bounced back. Volatility continues to play out here throughout 2020. But when you start to think about all the other moving parts, as you mentioned, a lot of, protests and so on, and once again, that's going to affect the election as well. And I think that as we look forward, this could be a really volatile time going into this election in November.
Why so?
Just so many moving parts. It feels like a really different year going in, right? We've seen a lot of different things in the past where there's been uncertainty in how that really affects an election. If we were expecting one candidate to get in, it might end up shifting things one way or the other. And as some of those emotions really start to run high, and I think this year they're going to be running as high as ever. I think that this election could definitely potentially rattle someone's retirement picture a little bit.
I bet. And it's definitely going to be one for the books, for sure. But let's talk historically speaking on other election years, what that has done on finances.
Well, in the past, election years haven't been all that bad. More times than not, they've been positive. Most of the time, it's the third year of a president's presidency that things have been the best. However, things at least have still been positive, more times than not during an actual election year. This year, though, I think we can all agree 2020 has been anything but normal, and I think it will continue to be something that folks at least need to watch, especially if they're close to retirement, maybe they're just getting into retirement. That's really where our process shines, but that is where I think folks need to be very cautious throughout the rest of 2020.
Talk to me about your process.
So we call it our Rooted Retirement Process, and we really, I guess, want to get to know folks, right? So whether someone calls on in, whether someone sits down with us, we're still meeting folks, over Zoom or just even simply doing phone calls. We really want to dive in and discover what retirement means to them and start to know their goals and their dreams and their thoughts with retirement. We hope that we might be able to pull some of those pieces together, go back and put together a plan and start to think about someone's income, start to think about their investments, maybe look at ways to become more efficient. Taxes is one of those. Maybe start to think about legacy as well, and not only in terms of estate planning, but healthcare planning, all those things. So our process is very in-depth, and I think that right now, if I want people to hear one thing, it's start planning, please, because 2020 has been wild. I think the rest of 2020 is going to be quite interesting as well.
Oh, I bet. And you just blew my mind because there's a lot of stuff people need to consider. But what do we really need to be thinking about heading into November? Anything specific?
Well, we've actually put together a little report. It is the Will the Elections Rattle Your Retirement? And I think that this guide is a great, piece of value for folks that are out there watching us today. They can actually go to electionretirement.com. They can get their copy. And once again, it's completely complimentary. Some things to definitely be thinking about throughout the rest of 2020. Don't forget, we've got an election coming up that could obviously sway things when it comes to their portfolio, to their retirement. They can go get a copy, electionretirement.com.
All right, sounds like a great resource for people who may have some questions and want to start making some plans a little bit before November hits. So, Zach, thank you so much. We appreciate it. For more information or to get your hands on a copy of that complimentary guide, we'll connect you after today's show at CILiving.tv.